And we say welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Some people say this song is Kokoti. Some people say the real name is Miss Howshe Name. Whatever your choice, we are speaking about choosing the right look for 2025, and we do so with none other than Richard Young. Thank you so much for being here, and season's greetings to you, sir.
Same to you and to everybody here at TTT, my second family kind of thing.
And it was a long night, so even more grateful that you're here.
Yeah.
But sometimes people try to do it gradually. Sometimes people say, okay, for the new year, new me. Do you have any sorts of advice for how people can start to make that transition into a look that better represents them?
Well, I believe that you have to dress to suit yourself, first of all. So you're not going to only go with what international trends say. It can influence you to some degree, but you need to project who you feel almost on a daily basis and based on the culture that you're in, because you know how I am about the Caribbean aesthetic. So I feel that you need to be always projecting who you are in the space that you are. And you also need to project to whom you are going to interface with. You know, who you're going to interface with, you need to, that also determines what you're going to wear, because what you want them to feel as a result of your style projecting on them is how it should influence what you put on, what color you use, what silhouette you use, what details that you can have on your styling. So it's about you. And I think that is generally the trend. Everything is being revisited, or from the retro things, vintage wear, everything is coming back. Classic looks are coming back, nautical looks are coming back. They're always there, but you use it and give it a little twist. That is your personal style, and that's how I think you should project. And therefore that means when tomorrow reaches, you're not different from today, but you can just take a fresh take on what you have been doing, because the style is kind of staying. You know, it just morphs slightly.
And I really like the fact that you say it's about you. Because sometimes you can see someone and what they're wearing is looking expensive, but they look so uncomfortable in it. So they might have been better still wearing a potato bag. In terms of, because it's not them.
And how you carry what you wear, because if you carry, as you say, a potato bag better than somebody who is in something rather expensive and they're not carrying it comfortably, it means that the garment is wearing you. It's about your portrayal, you know, because that's what style is, a costuming for the moment, costuming for the occasion, a costuming for your sanity and your state of well-being at any given time. So, like, my colors I chose this morning, monochromatic is part of the theme. Crimson burgundy colors are in. Wide-legged jeans are coming back in. Accessories, I got this at Peter Elias, layering things all the time. So it's a reflection of what is the international thing, but still me, you know, still what I feel like wearing to make this statement for the moment.
And I really like the fact that you've already started to call some names, but you also speak about costuming in the moment. I think sometimes people think of clothes as clothes. As opposed to an expression of self. This is how I'm feeling today. This is how I choose to portray myself. And I'll call the name because you started to speak about the Caribbean aesthetic. I'll call the name Vonette Bigfoot because she speaks of lipstick as armor. She just feels so different. And one of the people that Vonette is always wearing is
Eastman, who I did a show recently with about 7 of them, and they were doing collections of 2025. So I thought it would be good to use Roger Lewis's images to kind of touch on it first, to show that our designers are on par with international standards, and they are influenced but not totally dictated by the international forecast. They have their own aesthetic, and that's what I like about it. So the full set of designs I think we have here, this is coming from Eastman. Green is one of the colors coming up. Pastel hues are definitely on the way back, and these are colors coming from Eastman again. Green again, as you say, pistachio green, a lot more verdant sometimes, but the pastel hues are being used regularly now, and this was a tribute to that hand-painted Caribbean aesthetic that Eastman did here, but using pastel hues and portraying our flora and our vibrancy. Again, another green. Green is definitely one of the colors that are coming back. Asymmetry. Look at this popping, this trouser here, you know, and the elegance of this. Because white is forever perennially a strong statement, and this is like a New Year's Eve piece that Eastman has there. So that's one of the
when you talk about white as a strong statement, the strongest statement for somebody who wears white a lot is that they know how to wash clothes properly. But I think we're going to do, you spoke about Peter Elias, I think we'll do some Peter Elias now.
Yeah, well, I had Peter Elias, and this particular thing, I think he had dresses, bohemian chic prints. You see, it's very kind of gypsy flavored and layered with a lot of accessories. It's a maximalist glam that is back in the thing now, so you drop layers. The silhouettes is free and flowy. The fabrics and textures are very soft and popping color, which is what Caribbean women do well. You know, we are, this is kind of the color that they say, an espresso color is what they say is Pantone's color for the year coming 2025. But you see how this particular one is all the animal print. Rihanna believes in that. She likes cow print particularly. And all of this popping color and layering of accessories to give it a luxe that I think Caribbean women do so well. Trinidad women in particular, I don't want to say that and make other Caribbean people feel that we are claiming that, but we are.
And so take say that and you can't go back online with your friend in Guyana, you know. But speaking of Caribbean women, I think we have Heather Jones next.
Yes, Heather Jones has a wonderful green she used. This is just for playful wear, but the hues of green, this is like resort wear. This is a sheer evening piece because the sheer is forever one of the statements, and popping colors, yellows are also one of the colors for this year. Pinks, pastel pinks, because the popping magenta pinks were in. Green again is forever, and all of the designers have green. And this is actually a lavender color. You know, again, paying tribute to pastel. Pastels, again, beautiful pieces that could be worn tonight, you know, and make a statement because she is about Caribbean couture. I really love what Heather says about her fashioning. Yeah.
And looking at the way that they have things flowing, hand-printed, another treatment is batik. And we have some Lisa Faye as well.
Well, Lisa Faye is quiet luxury. You know, she works in silks. It's Lisa Faye silks, hand-painted silks. And the colors are a representation of our carnival aesthetic, I would call it. It's very exhibitionistic, but with very easy silhouettes, as you see, very easy silhouettes. Nothing to your pop is just wearing the garment. It caresses your body. You feel beautiful wearing it. And it's not for the woman who wants to be too loud, but wants to make a statement without saying a word kind of thing. You just drop this on. Kaftans are forever there, and free-flowing dresses. You know, so that keeps a Caribbean luxury, but also a resort style. And that's what Lisa is very, very good at.
And I guess it also goes back to being comfortable in yourself.
Yeah.
To be able to use the clothing as an articulation, an outward articulation of
and
how you're feeling.
And sexy is not always tight, because sometimes we have people who are forever in stretch fabric, stretching over a lot of pulchritude, but you need to just sometimes soften the look, and that is going to be more powerful than you keeping it tight in something that is stretch.
And where does Cheryl Lochandas fit across the landscape?
Well, I love her because she used Indo aesthetic as an Indo-Caribbean vibe, but I think it's what you call a dame riche, kind of Audrey Hepburn, kind of simple line if you notice, but it's very lush. There is a crimson color in that trouser and popping reds as well with blacks and a lot of brocade she uses. Look at this pantsuit. It's all glamorous, but it's still simple lines. You know, the bustier forever, you know, and again, the burgundy or crimson color popping there, but these are Indo-centric vibes in silks that definitely make a statement, which is like bringing back the Audrey Hepburn vintage looks. And I love what she's stating. You know, hers are a little more closer fitting than the other designers that you would notice.
One of the things that I like in terms of having designers who are here and they feel the same heat that we do, they may go for a look, but at the same time they're mindful of the environment that they're working in.
Yeah.
so the materials reflect that as well, that understanding.
Yeah, because breathing fabrics, to me, belong in the space. You need to use colors that belong to the space, and you need to use breathing fabrics because you need to feel ventilated in what you're wearing. I think the next designer we have is the cloth.
Yeah, so I was not going to say we're going closer to home.
Who I'm particularly proud of because last year he made some major achievements and monochromatic colors and blues, royal blues, and these cobalt blues, which he calls Maljo blue, and monochromatic shades are definitely part of it. It's for men and the women as well. And that was also in the show, presented beautifully there with a coquille broom, which is, again, with the Maljo blue, cutting the blight. You look at this asymmetric cut, it's just a throw-on piece. All these are just throw-on layered pieces. He just showed in Tokyo as well, and they responded really well to him. And a lot of the pieces can be used by both men and women, so it's kind of, gender fluid in some ways, and a lot of asymmetry, as you notice. None of the things are just one length. They're different layers, constant layers, different cuts, but easy to put on. And fits every age, every size, as you notice, of woman.
And I think that fits us, who we are as a people. We are not homogenous. There's so many things going into our varied experiences, and there's so many layers, but at the same time, these things come together to just be something that is so wonderful. You see that shirt in the Maljo blue with the circle?
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'll be like, okay, this is the year that you're going to put together the dust to get that shirt, huh?
Yeah, and that applique technique is us creating. It's like he says, just like pan was made from nothing or made from what was being thrown away, the applique is taking like scraps of cloth and creating a new surface, a new texture. So that's one of the things that is difficult for us in our identity branding. We still have to go and buy fabrics that are imported. But if you take the fabrics and you create a new texture, a new surface, you now give it a Caribbeanness. So that's one of his major things.
And one of the people who I originally know for creating those pops to just set off the rest of the outfit right, because he was dealing with bow ties. I think he is doing more now. This is Mark Eastman.
Mark Eastman. He started with bow ties, and he is actually the assistant designer, the cloth as well, but he has his own brand, and it's a kind of urban utility, kind of preppy look, that he is doing. If you notice all the layered, easy to wear pieces, all breathing fabrics as well. And all the textures with a little detail stuck in, but making it very comfortable for the man to wear. Popping green, as I tell you, which is going to be part of the 2025 season. You notice a lot of green, very verdant. Belongs in our space because that's what we are. We are azure blues and verdant green forests. And then these popping carnivalesque colors that are perfect for the season that is coming up and for all of the crossover from the New Year's Eve parties into the all-inclusive parties. They are perfect for that and ready for Carnival. And we have
it's interesting that I see some touches. So to me, I see a little influence of the cloth, but I also see where he's taking it in different directions.
Yeah.
So looking at some of these things, I'm thinking of anime as well as some of the manga that I look at from time to time, and seeing how we can pull different influences.
And the bold prints. You notice he's working on bold prints, and some of them he crafts the prints himself by layering them together and creating one fabric with the different styles, bold, innovative prints. So that was just a taste of a show that I did. I must plug the show. It was a Bishop Anstey show that I did at Hyatt Regency. It's an exceptional show, fabulous attendance, and it was all collections for 2025. So that's why I chose it. Roger Lewis, famous for his brand Look Into My Eyes. And I must plug him for allowing us to use his photos. He came and got it for us. And I think that's a taste for what you can look for right here in Trinidad, in the Caribbean, with the influences of the international forecast in fashion. All the colors are there, all the silhouettes are there, all the details are there, all the proportions are there, and it caters for all sizes. So we can dress ourselves for success and for style and be very representative of who we are and our identity.
Now, I was going to ask you to give us a closing statement, but I think that is it. We can. We have what it takes. And I think part of it is just belief in self as a people, belief in self as individuals, to be able to carry that. And that, tell me how Sister Grace used to say it. You're doing it with? With grace and gratitude.
Grace and gratitude, yes.
Yes, man.
Yes.
And we're very
and
we are grateful that you've been able to spend some time with us here. Richard Young on the Now Morning Show. Definitely our pleasure stepping into the new year, choosing the right look for 2025. Stay with us. The Now Morning Show, it comes back after this.